And the only people that you have to thank for that are those who leaked it in the first place. Yo, a couple of weeks back I put up my rankings video, and if you watch that video, you'll know that they weren't actually my rankings, but they were your Instagram rankings. Basically a popularity contest. Okay. It's like high school all over again. What you got here today is going to be my real rankings. I was actually filling out the barbell spin pull, and I was moving people all around, and I go, hey, I don't think that anyone else's rankings are gonna look quite like mine, and then I do want to actually end up comparing those to other people's after it's all said and done. I want to have a real shot at it. But before we get to that, there are some things that I gotta talk about.
But that's just a rumor.
Number one, Ariel Lowen was on Keeping It Real, and if you saw that thing on my Instagram.
Do you think the twist is the twist like we saw Dave post?
Unfortunately, some people on the demo team have leaked some stuff, so I believe I know the twist, and it's just the boxes look a little bit different. But it is like a step up and over.
Well, everyone's like, oh, it is a twist. You're twisting on top of the box.
Wow.
But what is it that you're stepping up onto? And apparently, some people know what the thing that you're stepping up onto is.
Two chicks at the same time, man.
I personally wish that she would have gone all the way and said, what are the boxes? But it is good to get this information out for everybody. Because if one person knows it, you better damn well bet that a couple other people know it, and then all you're doing is you're hurting the people who don't know what's going on. Now, the real question is, don't they have the demo team athletes sign NDAs? Let's pull up a picture of the demo team. In the comment section, I want you to please start commenting who of these individuals you think is the most likely to have leaked all of this information. Is it Sydney Wells? Is she telling Brooke? We got Annika Greer, Colton Mertens, we've got Scott Tetlow, we got Tudor Magda, and then we've got Trista Smith. It's like a who done it? Who did it? Who told it? And while we're on the topic of everybody telling everybody everything, have you guys found it eerie that all the games athletes are sharpening up on their freaking triple unders? You know what we say, we don't believe in coincidences. Well, I also heard that triple unders might be coming down the pipeline.
Wow.
Now here's the thing about me saying this right now. It's that for those athletes that have heard that piece of information, they've been practicing, but now it can change, can't it? I mean, everyone's gonna have their fancy little jump rope, and you can just turn those triple unders into double unders, or maybe they'll go all Bosman on everybody and make it crossovers again.
This is all ridiculous.
And the only people that you have to thank for that are those who leaked it in the first place. Next thing, I've got these shoes, right? The Born Primitive Savage one. Not sponsored by them. And today on Instagram, I put up a story where I was talking about how this heel is eating away at my ankle. There's this sharp piece of plastic that's just digging in there. And I put up a story, and within, I don't know, 30 minutes, the owner of the company reaches out, goes, hey, that was a specific model issue. We fixed it. We will replace your shoes, and all is well and good. And that was cool to see. I just wanted to clear that up for those of you who may have seen that Instagram story. It's completely opposite of the Nobles of the world. You can order a t-shirt and not hear about it for 6 months. And then before we get into this, I don't know when my next video is gonna be. I got this monster video in creation, and then I got another monster video in creation. I plan on letting those things loose on both Monday and Wednesday. I would be ready for those guys. You like drama? Wait for Wednesday. You like the athletes? Come on Monday.
Perfect.
But for the time being, we're talking CrossFit games. Let's get to my real rankings. Now, I'm not gonna justify every single one of my 40, but I am going to go from the bottom up on both the men and then the women's side. I will venture to bet that my women's podium is going to look pretty different than just about everybody else's. But let's start with the dead last male. I can't even say your name, which is why you belong down there, Ryan Pottiger. Ruan Pottiger. It's not even Ryan.
It doesn't matter!
If I can't pronounce your name, you automatically go lower on the leaderboard.
This is all ridiculous.
Following that up with Caleb Kometz.
Who?
Clements, 38th, Arthur Semenoff. I know you're strong, but you kind of pissed me off last year when I thought you were going to finish a little bit higher, then you finished lower. Fool me once, right? Harry Lightfoot, I know during the semifinals, I was telling everybody that you're never going to make it through the snatch ladder.
Idiot!
I'll be honest, I have you in a spot where I could see you getting through that first cut, but for the moment, you sit in 36th. Senor de Bruno in 35th. Amazing interviewer. Really liked you on Sevons, really liked you on Dave, and I really like you in the 35th spot. Peter Ellis, basically a worse version of Jay Crouch or Bailey Martin, right?
Yes.
Jack Rosema, I'm still waiting for you to finish that snatch from the semifinals, so you're not going to make it through that first cut. Everyone's got you ranked so high. You're ranked high in my heart and not on my leaderboard. Moritz Feibig, I got you one spot behind everybody's favorite Guy Malheiros. Over the course of the year, I was moving you up the leaderboard, and then I saw the Mayhem documentary on you, and while that was shot incredibly, crazy storyboarding, it knocked you all the way down into 31st place. You are not going to make that cut. You will not be showing off your strength in that workout.
Oh, well.
I don't think that you've sorted them demons out quite yet, hombre.
Let go!
Alexander Caron, welcome back. Luka Dukic, 29th. Anol the Bro Akai, who went strictly off of looks, he would belong in the top 10, but we aren't going strictly off of looks, so you're going to go into 28th. Cole Sager, it's all running. It's all running, it's all step-ups. You don't even have to worry into the heavy barbell until after the first cut. You're going to definitely make that first cut being 27th. Kalian Souza, remember that natty or not I did in you? How are you guys doing it down in Brazil? How are you doing it? Chris Ibarra, it is Ibarra, not Ibarra. And then there's this like generational age gap. We got Ibarra and then we got Travis Mayer, like a decade or two between them. Luke Parker in 23rd, made the games, but it wasn't by a lot. It was right there. That said, America, you get 23rd, Luke. Brandon Luckett, I think that this is going to be a really good game for Brandon Luckett. 22nd, sitting on the spin pole, not ranked. Like, what are you guys thinking? Hey, but Brandon Luckett not ranked? Idiot. Victor Hoffer, he's like the Guimel Harros of gymnastics. He's going to show out on an event or two, and then he's going to not do so hot on all this running. He's a little short of those step-ups are going to massacre him. Puts you right in the middle. Henrik Haapalainen, the 60-year-old wonder. He's not 60. David Hippensteel's calling. 20th place. Oh, and then the real dinosaur, Bjorgvin Carl Gudmundsson. Every single year you seem to be in the top 10, but not this year. Not in my list. You're 19th. Father Time catches everybody. Now, this is the one that I think I've moved the most. Everyone's kind of low on this guy. Cole Greasehaber. I believe in you, Cole. Not Sagan. Sam Cornway. Always in 17th. Always right in the middle. Everyone thinks he's going to go into the top 10, and then he always ends up in 17th. You're staying in 17th. Bailey Martin. Right next to Jay Crouch. Remember earlier in this list we talked about Peter Ellis? Well, this is what you could be, Peter. You could be hanging out with your countrymen. And Jay, I know a lot of people think you're a little bit higher than this, and it's kind of like kryptonite. Or if you've seen the movie Hancock, you know how when Hancock gets close to the chick, he's got to like get really far away from him so their powers get stronger? Well, that's how it works with Proven. The closer you get to Proven, the more Tia Toomey takes your powers. Sam Quantin, 14th, getting beat out by Austin Hatfield in 13th. This will, in all reality, be the last person that I put that's any shorter than 6 feet tall in my top rankings, and you're gonna see so. James Sprague. James Sprague looks like a freaking... He just looks like he put on 1,000 pounds of muscle this year. I'm not insinuating anything. It's all good. It's not like he went from snatching 255 to 355 like Haley and Souza did. He just looks phenomenal. I saw a picture of his butt. Daniela Hosta in 11th. The other Dukic, sitting in 10th place. Lazar, that's where you always are. Maybe it's 9th or 10th, but either way, that's where you're going to be this year too. Pat Vellner taking a plummet down the leaderboard. Shoulder didn't look so great at semifinals. This will be the year that the Canadians go down. Patrick Vellner's in 9th. Brent Fikowski's in 8th. You got to make room for these other people who are on the come up. And the only way that they're ever going to come up the leaderboard is if someone moves down. Fikowski in 8, Vellner in 9. Make room for Saxon Panchik. Didn't make it last year because, like we said, Tia Toomey steals everyone's powers when they enter the space that is proven. Saxon is no longer proven. He will go back into his former glory. The trajectory that should have been. 7th place. Roman Kranikov in 6th. I heard they're not allowing translators on the floor this year. Roman need Rosa. Jason Hopper. I can just make this kryptonite joke about everything, can't I? Vermont! Get away from Vermont! He has done it. He has moved away from Vermont. He's opened his YouTube channel. He has hung out at CrossFit Crash. You will be in 5th. You can do it, Hopper. Dallin Pepper.
And you.
4th place. He's got the power of Hopper and Krenikov. He's got the mobility of Medeiros. And he's blonde.
You're too blonde!
There has to be a blonde person in the top 5. Dallin, you are that blonde man. Jeff Adler goes into 3rd place, and you're gonna see why in a couple of seconds. If we had a who's who of the history of CrossFit Games competitors, and it's like, hey, let's go and take all the champions and put them up against one another, the only way Jeff Adler wins is if Medeiros doesn't show up, is if Froning doesn't show up, and is if Fraser doesn't show up. Then he's got a shot to win. And even then, Ben Smith is smelling for blood. He's out there. He's gonna go take him down. That said, the person who's going to beat him for 2nd is going to be Medeiros. About 2 months ago, I said that Medeiros was going to win the CrossFit Games. Well, that was before I spent a weekend with Ricky Garrard. Call it proximity bias. I also don't have any of that when it comes to Medeiros, and I got him all the way up here, so you can take that, shove it right up your butt. Please remember the last time that Ricky Garrard was at the CrossFit Games, he wore the leader's jersey for basically the entire weekend. And also know that this is basically his 3rd CrossFit Games ever. I think you're an idiot if you don't pick Ricky Garrard to win the CrossFit Games this year. Go ahead and disagree with me all you want. Which one of these do you think is the farthest off? If I had to bet, the biggest one that I'm playing with house money on would be Guimel Harros. I got him in 31st place. He could finish as high as 6th if he wanted to. Depends on what's going on between those things called his ears. I suppose on the flip side of that, you could just replace him with Hopper. Basically take Hopper and Guy and flip-flop them. Ready for the chicks? Who's dead last in the chicks? Oh, Zhang Young, Daewon Jung. Everybody wants to give all of this credit to everything outside of America and everything outside of Europe. This is the sport of fitness, and we've got tests for those things. You can legitimately earn your keep via your fitness. Just get fitter, and then you get talked about more. So when we we see at the bottom of the leaderboard people like Jaewon Jung and then Pinheiro, it's just because there aren't fit enough people to knock them out entirely. Hell, Pinheiro, in my opinion, shouldn't even be here. A walking embodiment and slap in the face. The second that she qualified, it's like she put up Natty or Not versus Natty or Not after Natty or Not onto her Instagram profile. Gemma Raider, 38th, South Africa. First year qualifying. Jamie Green trained, 38th place. Daisy McDonald in 37th. Leona Kiesman in 36th. Victoria Campos in 35th. Another one of those, I came from Brazil. I've seen her ranked as high as into the 20s. I don't understand it. Sung Young Choi, 34th. Kyra Milligan, 33rd. CrossFit Games rookie. Lots of running. Big step ups. It's all we've seen so far. If she can make that first cut, get through the swimming and all the running and all the step ups and make it to the clean ladder, she could finish into the high 20s, low 20s, whatever close to the teens is. Julia Keto. I like this chick. And I also like you in 32nd. Danny Spiegel in 31st. You will not clean. You have gotten everything that you have deserved. Didn't make the CrossFit Games last year, go on to the Woolly Cast, complain about how the CrossFit Games aren't CrossFit, and guess what you get? Nothing! You get a run swim, you get a bunch of step-ups, you get a run, you get a sandbag run. You get to run, and only then do you get to lift.
That's why no one will remember your name.
Want those Instagram pictures, Spiegel? You gotta earn them. Sayer Kaya. Lots of people got her ranked higher, and I see why, because she kind of goes up the leaderboard every year. So either I'm dead wrong, or she's gonna finish at 19th. Both of those things would mean that I'm wrong. I don't understand Hedy Canyo. I don't get it. Where'd you come from? Gotta put you in 29. I just don't understand you. You're an anomaly. You belong in 29. Chloe Gavin David. If you happen to finish anywhere into the teens, then you can prove to us that the teams do matter. Jacqueline Dahlstrom, the sandbag smasher, 27th place. Unless there's a sandbag, then she's gonna win the CrossFit Games. That's the way that people have been ranking Jacqueline Dahlstrom. Lexi Neely, 26th. I don't know. I just liked Lexi Neely. Going higher than everyone else had her put. Claudia Gluck. Don't know why. I just think that that's a very powerful last name. It's like Gluck, 25. Georgia Pryor. In the spin ranking, she was really, really low. I think I overcompensated by putting her a little higher than maybe I should have, but hell, she belongs in 25th. She just seems like she's a good runner and swimmer. Hell, she's the best runner and swimmer on the planet. She's got this. Maddie Sturt. Been here a while, haven't you? Welcome back. 23rd. Carolyn Stanley, I will put you higher than anybody else thought you would finish. You gotta do me a favor. Don't make me look like an idiot. I believe in you, Carolyn. Show them what you got. 22nd for you, Carolyn. Karen Freyova, down the leaderboard. I know you're strong. Your preseason ranking for the spin pole was in 12. You're down. Emma McQuaid, you just go to 20. You just belong in 20. I can't move you down. I can't move you up. That's where you belong. Emily Rolfe, I will likely eat my rankings on this one. I got you in 19. It is the CrossFit Games. You are an athlete. You're not very strong. Usually that doesn't matter all that much, although Mark Ripito might disagree with you on that one. Prove me wrong. Ruin my rankings. Make me lose to Brian Friend. I don't care. Amy Kringle, the jacked super beast from England or wherever you're from. Dave interview, she said she's gotten stronger. We like strong Amy. Just hope you make it through the cut so that you can be strong Amy. Paige Semenya said that her only goal was to finish higher year after year. CrossFit Games had her in the top 10. I think that's a little ridiculous. For as good as the top 10 are, the bottom 10 are just as bad. Now think about it that way. Sean Woodland, you don't know how good you have to be to suck at the CrossFit Games. All right, now take that and insert it into the bottom 10 and then imagine how good the top 10 are. We're getting there. Gracie Walton, she can't count. The CrossFit Games fixed that issue in the quarterfinals. Remember that entire debacle? She was one of those people that got saved. I'm glad you got saved. I like Gracie Walton. First year here, 16th for you. Elisa Fuliano, where the hell did that snatch ladder come from? Italiana, 15th. Fit Beth, or that's what Arm & Hammer used to call Bethany Shadburn, Bethany Flores. Let's make the back a non-issue, Fit Beth. All right, no one saw this coming. All right, but everyone was talking mad crap about Shelby Neal. You can't do that. Shelby Neal's gonna come and whoop up on everybody. She's gonna finish in 13th, only to be bested by Haley Adams in 12th. First year back at the CrossFit Games, Haley Adams said she completely forgot how to do double unders in the quarterfinals event. And if she had, maybe she finished a little bit higher over there. Had a couple of great showings. Going 12th for me. Emma Tall. While I was over hanging out with Ricky and Alex, I saw Emma Tall. She's a freak. The best sort of freak. She can give the top 7 a run for their money. But I got you in 11th because you cannot beat Ariel Lowen. This is a strictly Dave programmed CrossFit Games. And I might be reaching here, but I think Ariel did much better with some of the Oz-centric workouts. Dave's back. How are you going to do, Ariel? I got you in 10th. Daniel Brandon also falls into the camp of Boz versus Dave. Dave likes to really stretch it out and make it get super grunty. So what version of Danielle Brandon are we gonna get this year? I'm not willing to roll the dice and figure it out, so I got her in 9th. Followed by the person in 8th place, which will inevitably make me look like an idiot, Gabby McGowan. I always put her lower than she ends up finishing. Some people even have her finishing higher than Laura, which I think is absurd. But I gotta make room for my chick, Abby Domit. Thing about Domit is she just won the semifinal, right? She won the semifinal. Case closed. But Kazan's got winning power. Got her in 6th. She's going to leapfrog Domit, who beat her in the semifinal. 1 rep max strength, top end gymnastics, all of those things are going to play into the Kazan wheelhouse. 6th place for her. Alexis Raptis wore the leader's jersey almost as much as Ricky did the last time he was on the competition floor. You guys forget that? The chick's a freak, and I got her in 5th. And then in 4th, the place, this is where it gets all crazy, Laura Horvath is in 4th. You're thinking, who could beat Laura? Who? Are you out of your mind? I can hear Brian Friend seething. His mouth is foaming. I can make a case that Laura's gonna beat Tia. How could you put her in 4th? Well, I guess I forgot about this little person named Brooke Wells, the most resilient chick on the planet. She's got 2 working elbows. She's been working out with Jason Hopper. From what I've heard, there's not a brick wall that Brooke Wells wouldn't run straight through these days. 3rd place, Brooke Wells, only to be bested by Emma Lawson. She's pissed that the CrossFit Games left her out of their top 10. How could you, Emma Lawson said. They took a fire hose to whatever sort of stress she was going through, and it's gonna propel her into 2nd place. And then everyone's gonna lose to Tia Toomey again.
Oh well.
Because so long as Tia Toomey's here, if you put her anywhere other than 1st, you're a freaking idiot. Well, that took a little longer than I wanted it to. Just like on the men's side, the women who I think have the biggest chances to move on my rankings would be obviously Dani Spiegel. If she can somehow make it to the lift, she will move up into the teens. No reason to believe she belongs to the top 10 on any leaderboard. But if she makes that 1st cut, she could probably even make that 2nd cut. And then I'm a Brooke Wells believer. So you might be thinking, Andrew, you got Brooke Wells ranked a little bit too high? And I got one thing to say for you. Is that what you think? You think? It doesn't matter! That's all I gotta say about that. Andrew Hiller, out.
Please press that like button. No one touches there now.
Yesterday, you said tomorrow. So just do it! Make your dreams come true! Just do it! Some people dream of success while you're gonna wake up and work hard at it. Nothing is impossible. No, what are you waiting for? Do it! Just do it!